Sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Now it's prod, not the beat.
I heard that.
that's how we start off.
Right as I hit record.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, see that's what I love. That's what I love about this podcast, because we literally never know. Like we literally never know what we gonna get.
Somebody popping bottles in the other part of the house. A celebration. Hey, look. So, I wanna dub this week's podcast injury prone. After all the injuries that happened this past Sunday, all three of us was like going back and forth with text. Hey, this person got hurt. They were seeing this person got hurt, and I was in disbelief. Let me see. I'm 49. I've been watching football from the time I was 5 years old. Never seen a Sunday like this, man. Now, we got 5 minutes. Anybody want to say something to get us going? Because I already laid a couple of topics out. Who got a 5-minute start off?
Well, look, mine ain't gonna be 5 minutes. I just want to call somebody out real quick. Trent Green. I was watching Monday Morning Quarterback on CBS Sports Monday night. I had nothing better to do. I was up late. So I was looking at Monday Morning Quarterback. They brought up the injuries, and Trent Green and goodness, I can't remember the other guy's name that was up there. But they were literally like trying to blame this on just the brutal sport of football. Now, we know how brutal football is. I didn't play. Sean, you played. Mm-hmm. You know the brutality of the sport, and I'm not downplaying that. But never before in the history of the NFL did we have a weekend like we had just now. And you want to blame that on the brutality of the sport? It's like, I mean, it's not that hard to see that these guys had an abbreviated offseason. Most of them didn't get mini camp. The only people that got mini camps were rookies, right? And I mean, you can do but so much on your own. There are specific things that you have to do with a trainer, like just specific training, specific strength training, right? Building your muscles up, building the strength in your knees, building your base, building your back, and you know, I was kind of shocked when I heard that. I was like, and he didn't say anything about the players not having an offseason, not having a strength and conditioning program in the offseason, nothing. He just blamed it on the brutality of the sport. Oh, and they blamed the field at MetLife.
Oh, come on, man. My only thing, man, I'm not gonna be long. My only thing is that all this happened, man. All these injuries, like you said, B. I've never seen it before. And to your point, B, brutality of the game is about maybe between 5 and 10% of the problem, if that. And what happened was the whole schedule got thrown off. That's all what happened. Right. Go ahead, K-Man.
It got condensed. Just some notables names.
Yeah.
Saquon ACL, Drew Lock shoulder, David Montgomery neck, Anthony Barr shoulder, Byron Jones groin, Devontae Adams hamstring,
mustard,
soft tissue injuries, Malik Hooker Achilles, Bosa ACL, Cortland Sutton, ACL.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into Tyrod later. That's
something totally different. Then.
yeah.
Dude,
Paris Campbell, ACL. It's just so let's talk about Trent Green. Trent Green has a Super Bowl, but he was a backup. I don't even think he was a backup because he tore his ACL. So he hates injuries because it stopped him from having a Hall of Fame career in his mind. But
so he's essentially the Adam Morrison of the NFL.
Yes, but it was a condensed offseason. It was 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. When normally rookies get drafted, they get mini camp, they get rookie mini camp, and then they get OTAs. Some people get more OTAs because they get a new head coach, and then you have mini camp, and then they break for about a month, and then they have training camp, and then along with preseason. Right. A lot of people bring up the preseason. I don't really, because starters don't play that much in the preseason. Preseason is really about undrafted people seeing if what you saw in training camp actually matches up in a real game. This is a very physical sport played on some grass, and what's the thing? It's not actual turf, but what is it called?
I know it's a manufactured turf.
Yeah. So cutting, and then somebody said the first week, you get bruised up, you try to recover, and then your body, a lot of the stuff the second week is because your body was bruised up the first week because once again didn't ramp it up. Also, another thing missing, joint practices. That's when a lot of the hitting gets in because it's two different teams. So this was, I said it last week, I'm gonna say it again. This was greed. Greed did this. They could have pushed it back. Greed did this.
So, to the first thing, man, to you guys, I heard you guys say that there was no inter team, no scrimmages, no regular training camp, no OTAs, no preseason. My question to you all, like I said, that routine that you just mentioned, K-Man, didn't happen. What can be the impacts of not following that routine that you're used to?
Soft tissue injuries, and these ACLs and ACLs, MCLs, PCLs, and Achilles injuries, along with the mini camps and the OTAs. You also have training sessions. That's why a lot of teams look sloppy. But you also have physical therapy and working with the trainers, and
that's a good point.
And so all that was condensed, all it was rushed. And most medical staffs in the NFL, sans the Chargers, are really good, and they work on you, but it was just so rushed.
And K-Man, you brought up a good point, man, and I didn't understand the magnitude of physical therapy until a guy that I went to St. Augustine, New Orleans, man, named Aaron. He used to be a sheriff, retired from being a sheriff, and I forgot how many years ago he was like the personal physical therapist for the Saints. But then he started, like during the off season, Saints players mentioned him to other players, and he started traveling around the country, like doing physical therapy for different players. And I'm like, what? Physical therapy for players? And he posted a few videos from, I can't think of the players' names, but they were like, this dude's a godsend, man. After practice or before a game, he works out the muscles. And I'm like, is it that important? Physical therapy before and after a game? I'm like, what the heck? So I B, what you got, B?
I'm just gonna say, nobody on the face of this planet puts their body through more than an NFL player. And just like what Kennedy was just saying, you take for granted, the physical therapy and all this extra stuff that these players do for their bodies. Just like he was saying, the soft tissue stuff. if your muscles haven't grown accustomed to you going from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds and then stopping and then starting again, then stopping, then starting again, then stopping, then starting again, that's shock to your body. That's shock to your body. And that's why we're seeing all of these injuries, all of these soft tissue injuries, as well as major injuries, because their bodies don't know what to do. Their knees don't know what to do. Their ankles don't know what to do. They're in shock. And so, fortunately for a lot of players, it hasn't been that bad. But for the dozen or so major ones that we saw, I mean, these are critical injuries to their team.
Another thing I like to add is because of COVID, a lot of gyms got shut down.
Right.
So if you're a top end player, you probably got a gym in your home.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a rookie or you're one of the minimum players, you also, so the facility was shut down. Right. Gyms were shut down. So how do you train your body? And it's one thing to train your body for a regular person or even a triathlete, but it's another thing to train your body for a brutal sport like football. Yeah.
And just like I was saying, brutality is about 5 to 10% of it, but like you guys have mentioned, conditioning, getting your body used to going, like Brandon said, going from 0 to 100 and stopping and doing it again, maybe 30 seconds later. And good point. Now, I'm gonna put you two on the spot, man. So, with all the injuries, is there anything that can be done to prevent these injuries, or do you guys expect to see similar injuries similar injuries right now in week 3?
Yeah, they're gonna be more.
Yeah,
it's too late. It's too late.
Well, okay, if it's too late, should we stop playing?
No. Said it in the beginning.
Agreed.
It's agreed. Look, if they're not going to stop for a pandemic that's killed over 200,000 Americans, what makes you think they're going to stop for a couple dozen injuries? I mean, no, we're in this thing now. You're gonna see. Look, I'm telling you now. For at least maybe a half dozen teams, you're gonna see these teams starting lots of tryouts. Lots of undrafted rookies, players that they've had to bring in off the street, because this thing is only going to get worse.
Yeah, the practice squad.
Yeah. Now, what I fear is, like, for a lot of these people, like a Saquon, Bosa, Cortland, Hooker, they had theirs in week 2. So with the process of an ACL, it's an 8-month process of surgery and recovery. It's really an 18-month process. But what I fear is that we're gonna get more injuries like in week 8 and week 10, and then that's just gonna knock people out for the whole 2021 season. But but the whole thing is, but I sent y'all that screenshot. It's all agreed. Like, Fox is reportedly gonna double their offer for in the new package, $2 billion, and the NFL could look at $8 to $10 billion annually just off of TV. It's about greed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, and Brandon, you got a good point. There's nothing we can do now. We're in it now.
Yeah,
they've started playing, so I hate to say it, we might see similar, because the game comes on tonight, 8:15. We might the Battle of Florida. Well, not really the Battle of Florida, because Tampa Bay not playing, but we might see similar injuries, and we're going to get into the next topic. And K-Man, you got the list we're going to go through that list again of the key injuries, but there were several key players that went down last Sunday, man, and key players that were vital to teams that were like in the playoffs last season, and those are going to be and I'm looking at the long season impact. Something like teams like San Francisco got a couple of bad injuries. might have really affect their defense. Their defense may not be effective. Garoppolo had something happen to him. He may not be good. So I think they're going.
How are you missing that much?
I think they're going to be long-term effects. Okay, K-Man, give us that list of the notable injuries.
All right, list again. All right, so we got Saquon Barkley, we got Drew Lock, we got David Montgomery, we got Anthony Barr, we got Byron Jones, Devontae Adams, Cam Akers, Malik Hooker, Paris Campbell, Khalid McCary. We got Isaac Solomon as a guard for the Eagles, Christian McCaffrey, Cortland Sutton, Bashar Perriman. He's still in the league?
Yeah.
All right, K-Man.
But so you saying the effects of the injuries. Well, I ain't the biggest Joey Bosa fan for some reason, but him coming on that defense made that defense that championship. Christian McCaffrey is the only thing they have in Carolina.
Yeah. Now, B-Wig, to what K-Man just said, from that list, B-Wig, which team do you think will be affected the most, and which team will be affected less based on those key injuries?
Affected the most, obviously, the 49ers, because they lost not one, but two defensive starters. They lost Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas.
Oh, yeah, he went on the list, but yeah.
To ACL. So easily, it's going to be San Francisco. I didn't even mention Garoppolo, but that's gonna affect things majorly because that's your starter. As good as he may be, or as average as he may be,
right.
He's your head man, he's your leader, and having another voice in that huddle is going to make a difference. The team that it'll affect the least, I would say, Carolina. They weren't doing anything anyway, so it really doesn't matter that you lose Christian McCaffrey. The only people that are going to be affected by that are the fantasy people that drafted him.
Now, good point. So, K-Man, I'm going to pose the same question to you. Who's going to be affected the most and who's affected the least? B-Wig say the most would be San Francisco, which I agree with. And he said less for Carolina. Who you think, K-Man?
All right, so it's a tie. The reason why it's a tie, I'm going to give you the tie, is because of this one person's importance. So it is definitely the 49ers because before Sunday, they were already missing George Kittle and Richard Sherman and Deebo Samuels.
Yeah.
But also it's the Giants because that team is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing without Saquon Barkley. Nothing. The least, once again, I'm going to go back to Bashar Perriman. I didn't even know he was still in the league. And it just are dumpster fire. So they could lose. They lose everybody. It doesn't matter. They're still going to lose.
All right, man. So look, y'all kind of touched on it earlier, man. And this is a serious situation, and it's unfortunate. I'll start with you, B, since you already in that state. The Teddy Bridgewater incident, man. What do you think? And I don't know if I want to use the word punishment because I'm pretty sure it was an accident. I don't think he did it on purpose. Oh, sorry, Tyrod.
Tyrod, yeah.
Yeah, Tyrod.
That's why I'm sitting here thinking like that.
My bad. What do you think should happen in that situation, B?
That doctor's got to go. Doctor's got to go. I mean, is the lung not a vital organ?
See,
nah, you don't need it.
I mean, okay, so some people smoke. Yeah, you can live with one. I get it, but for a National Football League player, a professional football player that has made his career off of running, not throwing.
Hold up, B. Hold up, B.
That good.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Y'all remember the Seinfeld skit when he came out? He said, "Well, all these doctors say they graduated at the top of their class. Somebody could be graduating at the bottom."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And he works for the Chargers.
Yeah. There you go. He's got to go, man. I would love to not see that needle that he used to give Tyrod a pain-killing shot in his ribs, but Yeah, man, you can't. That can't happen, and you got to go. But even before this, and Kennedy alluded to it. He alluded to it. I think was it earlier. Yes. When did I tell you about Tyrod? Was it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. He alluded to it. The Chargers are one of those teams that are historically just always injured because of the ineffectiveness and the incompetence of their training staff, their strength and conditioning people.
Yes,
They have the worst training staff in the league. They have the worst doctors in the league, and we just saw an example of that on yesterday. That's that's something that I'm sorry if I'm the owner. That's something that I'm not going to let slide. I'm not going to you got to go.
So you're saying that they're worse than a Washington football team medical
Yeah, because
staff?
Washington has fixed their mess for the most part.
True, I give you that one.
They got rid of that train wreck of a training staff that they had. We talked about it last season last season's podcast.
Yeah.
We changed the name of a injury we changed the name of the hamstring injury to the Redskin injury. Because they were known for just soft tissue injury every week, every year, and it's
Staph infection.
Yeah, staph infection. All right, K man, what you think should happen, K man?
Brandon pretty much said everything. Look,
Wait a minute, hold on. Should they take his license?
License? They should take his hand.
He didn't. He didn't kill the dude. He might have affected some money, but he didn't kill the dude. I'm not gonna take his license, but he can't do this for an NFL team anymore.
Look, Dean Spanos, the owner of the Chargers, classic example of your father built it, but the son doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And year after year, I'm a Broncos fan. We play the Chargers all the time. We beat the Chargers, but it's sometimes it's not fair because one ain't got no fans. But the main problem is that there are always injuries to that club, and it's just that they don't spend the right money on the medical staff. Yes, the Washington Football Club changed that. One of the first things Ron Rivera did was fire that training staff that's been there for 20 years and it's been messing up all that time. Yeah, I know Dean Spanos is broke, and that's why situations that it is, they got, kicked out of San Diego, and they got to be the little brother to the Chargers. But, come on, man. You got to you're in California. Trust me, I know there's probably better medical staffs than the one that you have now.
Okay. You guys brought up a good point. Something came to my mind. So, can the medical staff, well, I'm assuming it is because that's part of the routine that players do when they're starting to come into camp and all that kind of stuff. The medical staff is there. So do you think that this person, because he didn't have that, practice or work with these players, made that mistake because he hadn't touched these players? And
no, nah, you a doctor.
Yeah.
You're not an intern. You're a doctor. You get paid millions of dollars. You get paid millions of dollars to do this professionally. You're no amateur. So no.
You spent 12 years in school. And you've done this for I don't know how many years. Nah, he's just incompetent.
Okay, man. All right. So let's move on. So I'll start with you, B. But look, man, we already beat the injury thing. Beside the injuries, what stood out from this past week, man? Go ahead, B.
You haven't heard a lot about this. You're hearing more about the Vikings being 0-2 than the reason why they're 0-2. The reason why they're 0-2 is their offense is in Buffalo. And I'll say this for me too. I totally underestimated Stephon Diggs' value to that offense because he could get open whenever and wherever he wanted to. And Kirk Cousins has looked beyond awful.
Yeah.
I almost can't put into words how bad he's looked. I don't feel bad for him. He said some things a few weeks ago, so he's that karma's catching up to him. But anyway, the Vikings, they're a train wreck. The Eagles, train wreck. Can we please, all of you jocks, all of you jock straps at the 4 and 3 and 2 letter networks, can we hop off this Carson Wentz train, please? I mean, I went back and I watched that game to see how bad it actually was.
It was bad.
For as bad as people say Dak was in 2017, that's how Carson looked yesterday.
Oh, he was bad, man.
I mean, it's terrible. And the Rams don't have a great defense. That's what I don't understand. The Rams don't have a great defense. Now, I understand that the Eagles have, Jalen Reagor, who's also hurt. We didn't touch on that.
Yeah, right.
He's going to have surgery on his thumb. He's going to be out 6 to 8. But they don't have the greatest weapons at wide receivers. But Carson Wentz has never made his money throwing the wide receivers. His two top targets are still there, and Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. So I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. I mean, for 2 weeks, he's looked horrible.
Yeah, good point. And my little thing, then let you go, K-Man. My Saints from Monday night. Michael Thomas makes a difference. Because the Saints receivers drop so many balls and we have so many flags, man. I couldn't believe it. Go ahead, K-Man. What stood out for you?
I'm kind of old, but go ahead, Kennedy.
I'm glad you brought up the Saints because that was going to be it. I know it's early, but I'm starting to think it's over for the Saints. That offense, Alvin Kamara.
He can't do it by himself.
But he can't. That's what stood out to me is that offense looks not good. Second thing that stood out to me is, before the season started, everybody had, Trevor Lawrence going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars are starting to look like the 2019 Dolphins. Yeah, they're depleted, but they fight. They still got fight in them.
They got a good team.
I don't know about all that, but they got fight in them. And it's not going to be easy win.
It's not going to be a pushover.
No. And the last thing that stood out to me, the Chicago Bears are the worst 2-0 team I've ever seen in my life. The worst 2-0 team.
Say that again.
It's not even that. It's not even their defense is nothing either. I mean, coaching staff is like, how does Matt Nagy have a job? Whatever. We already know the reason why Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job. But no, those are my 3 points. Those are my 3 points.
I would say it's a 3-way tie for me for the worst 2-0 team. I would say of this season, the Bears, the Steelers, and the Raiders. Because the Steelers and the Raiders, I'm not buying in just yet. The Raiders, they got off easy Monday night.
Yeah,
they didn't have to cover. They didn't have to cover MT. That's automatic 10 and 100 every game. Yeah, I'm not ready to buy in just yet. So I'll put the Steelers and the Raiders in that bogus 2-0.
And look, I gotta. My surprising 2-0. Then we're gonna go to the picks, man. Is Arizona. It got which one y'all call a little man? Who y'all call a little man?
We both call him a number of things, but
I don't call him little man. Society calls him little man. Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
No, you just call him Webster.
Hey,
man, I was watching him, man. It's like every time he runs, when he finishes run, he's like skipping, like he's happy or something.
Yeah, it's like little Calvin Cambridge out there. He's fine.
All right, man. Let's go to these picks, man. All right. So the game tonight, I took the Dolphins. I'll start with you, K, man. Who you got?
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Oh,
I told you they got fighting in them, and they lost to the team that was in the NFC Championship game. The Dolphins have not looked good, and I know. I think this is essentially going to be a redshirt year for Tua, but Fitzgerald should not be in this league. Yes, he's smart. He went to Harvard. He can't throw. He runs. I swear to God, he runs like he has toilet paper stuck in his butt. He sucks.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you this. Fitzpatrick is giving B Wig a run for his money with the beard. Who you got, B?
He can't touch my beard. You know why? Because I use all natural products, baby. All natural products. That being said, I'm going with the Jaguars. They're a better coach team. That's obvious. Better defense. The quarterback is what it is. You know, he's gonna wow you some games. He's gonna wow you some games, and he's gonna make you be like, "I told you so." Some games. So I think he's got a hot hand right now.
I know one thing. Minshew Magic. He need to get rid of that porno star mustache. All right.
That's his look. That's his look. If he shaved that, go ahead.
I was just saying, just like AD with the bra, that's gonna make him money.
Yeah. Look, if he shaves that off, he's just some jag walking down the street. I mean,
yeah, they even said, he's an accountant.
Yes,
he's an accountant.
All right, B. I'll start with you. The Bengals at the Eagles. I took the Bengals. Who you got, B? You gonna pick the Eagles, man?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
What?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I do expect them to play better against the talent or the lack thereof against the Bengals. I expect the pass rush to rattle Joe Burrow just a little bit. Maybe not rattle him, but get to him. He's still a rookie. As good as he is, he's still a rookie.
I get it.
I was kind of either way on this one. I'm gonna go with the Eagles just because they're at home. You know, with the virtual booze. That city is the worst.
Hey man, Philly, man, that's a dirty city, man. I'm telling you.
City is
the worst.
Especially North Philly, Lord. All right, K man, who you got?
I got the Eagles.
Man, y'all picking the Eagles?
Because the Bengals ain't got that much talent. And yeah, I mean, look at their last two games. They played close with the Chargers. That's not a really good team. And Cleveland caught them on with like 4 days. No. And Cleveland has a little bit more talent. So I'm going with the Eagles.
Now, all right, this game, I think I flip-flopped it, but K-Man, 49ers at the Giants. After all the injuries, the key injuries, who you got, K-Man?
Man, there's a lot of injuries for the 49ers. A lot. I'm going with the 49ers, sir.
Even after the injuries?
Joe just sucks. He sucks. Daniel Jones. I don't know who gave him Danny Dimes. He ain't got it in him for that name. He ain't got the sweat. He don't deserve. Danny Dimes is a tight name. He doesn't deserve that name.
It's not a New York name, but I B, who you got, B?
Give me the 49ers. Just like Kennedy was saying, they need to go on and retire that nickname. Danny Dimes, bruh, there's a chain shortage. You ain't got your dimes. You ain't got no dimes. You ain't got no dimes. I'm sorry.
That's a good one. The chain shortage. Huh? Okay. Yeah. All right, B. I'm gonna start with you, man. Texans at the Steelers.
The Steelers.
Yeah, I took the Steelers too, man.
You ever seen Man's Best Friend? It was a movie. It was a movie that came out, I think, in the early 90s. It's
Yeah,
about a
man.
dog.
About the dog.
About a crazy dog. Well,
It was a Rottweiler.
Yeah, at one point in that movie, I think there's a Jeep Wrangler that's going down a hill, and they couldn't stop because the brake lines got cut.
Yeah,
That's the Texans right now. They're going downhill with no kind of stopping power. I hate it for Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Watson, and
Deshaun Watson. I hate it for Deshaun Watson, but it's over with, man. Request a trade, bro.
Who you got, K man?
He just got paid. How you gonna request the trade?
Like this, trade me. the same way you did my favorite receiver that you just trade me now.
I'm gonna shock y'all. I got the Texans.
What happened to Bill O'Brien?
Okay, let me explain myself.
Pick Bill O'Brien over.
Yeah, let me explain myself.
Please do.
All right. So last week, my Broncos played the Steelers. They lost their quarterback. They lost their number one wide receiver. They're already missing their number one pass rush. And they still only lost by 5 points in Pittsburgh. Steelers ain't that good. You said it yourself. Now, on the other side, look who the Texans has played their first 2 games. The defending champs and possibly maybe the best team or the second best team in the league. I mean, and they got smacked because they were playing really good teams. Steelers ain't good. They're going to look at the Steelers like, whew, thank God.
The Chiefs don't look like defending champs right now, especially this past week against LA.
Yeah,
I mean they let Justin Herbert, go over 300 like it won't nothing.
But that might have been the game plan. They probably had a game plan for Tyrod, and then Herbert comes out and they're like, "Oh, what's this?"
You giving them too much credit. Don't know about a game plan for Tyrod.
You know what? You're right about that. But I'm just saying that the reason I'm picking the Texans is because they had 2 tough opponents, and now they're getting one that's pretty much on their eye level. I got the Texans winning.
That's great.
All right, K man. Good point. So K man, Raiders at the Patriots. Who you got, K man? I picked the Raiders. Who you got?
I got the Patriots. That game on Sunday night taught me a lot. And what it taught me, which I kind of forgot, but it always taught me, Bill Belichick's a genius.
Yeah.
And even with missing 4 or 5 players from his defense, his offense looking totally different, he still went into Seattle. Now, it was not the real Seattle because it wasn't fans, but he still made it a really good game. And he was going up against a really good coach. On the other side, he's playing the Raiders and Derek Carr. I'm taking the Patriots.
All right, B, who you got?
I like the Patriots. I like how Cam looked on Sunday night throwing the ball. I didn't think that I personally didn't think he was going to do it. I didn't think he was capable. I didn't think he was still capable. I eat crow on that one. Cam stepped up Sunday night, and it wasn't his fault that they lost that game. It was not his fault that they lost that game. He played well. I expect him to play well again on Sunday. So give me the Patriots.
All right, B. This one
before you say anything, they always had this thing that says, "Oh, you don't look good in a loss," but they look good in that loss.
Yeah.
So whatever, I knew once they got Cam, they weren't going to tank for Trevor Lawrence, but this team is good. They're not really good, but they can beat an overrated team.
They did, and it's the coaching and the personnel. Bill, the hoodie is good at maneuvering his personnel and putting them in the right place. And there is such thing, Kennedy, as a quality loss.
Yep.
All right, B, who you got? Titans at the Vikings, man.
Titans.
Man, the Vikings that bad, y'all?
They can't stop anything. They can't stop anything, and they don't have any offense.
I picked the Titans too. Yeah, no. K-Man, who you got?
I'm gonna surprise y'all. It's like I'm just joking. I got the Titans.
Oh man,
They're terrible.
The Vikings that bad? God,
They have zero offense, bro. Zero. They can't run the ball. They can't throw it.
And when they do throw it, everybody knows he's throwing it to Thielen. So
yeah.
So y'all saying the Packers are just going to run away with that division this season?
Yeah.
I didn't think so, and you know, when we were doing our season previews, I picked the Vikings, but I was wrong.
Dang. All right, K-Man. The football team at the Browns is Sunday. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Browns.
Well, I picked Washington. Why you got the Browns, man? Okay.
The Browns have more talent than they do.
But what about the Redskins front four, man?
First of all, I don't know. Once again, sir, I don't know who this Redskins you're talking about.
The football team.
Yes, they have a really good defense. They have a really good front four.
Hold on, K-Man. Hold on, B. Hold on, man. And look, the reason I gotta pause you, because K-Man, you said, hold on, I don't know what that. Remember on Seinfeld when he was messing with the Indian lady, and then he said, I got him on street from a. He said, I'm not familiar with that term.
Are you trying to call me an Indian gibbon? I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what that term is. That was a good one, K-Man. All right, B, who you got?
The Browns.
Oh, snap.
I don't like Dwayne Haskins. As much animosity as I used to have, or as I had for the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins, I like where they're going. I just don't like where they're going with the QB that they have.
Hey, B, so you don't like him out of spite because he went to a school that possibly beat Roosevelt? That's
not it. that has nothing to do with anything. Like the dude as a person, man, he's a great kid. But as far as being an NFL quarterback, they would be 2-0. They would be 2-0 right now had Alex Smith been starting at quarterback.
Yeah, and to your point, B, it's like I texted y'all Sunday when the game was going on. It's like either his balls are overthrown behind them or they're short.
You know a lot about his balls.
See, there you go.
Wow. Wow, sir. Wow.
Right there.
You left the door wide.
Yeah, you did.
I sure did. Yeah,
because you could have just said passes, but
his balls are short.
Oh yeah, you got me on that one. That's a real good one. God, no. Hey, sound guy, can we edit that out and rewind that? Yeah.
I want to pat myself on the back because I didn't take the bait. Because you said that, I'm like, what?
All right, man.
I was like a lion in the bush. I was waiting.
You was waiting for that joint.
But back to Dwayne Haskins. This is the second year in the league, his first year in a new system, and once again, condensed. So the timing, but also ain't no way Bullis is playing Roosevelt. they too highbrow.
I'll say this about Haskins, and then we can move on. You mentioned last year, even in his, I understand it's a new offense, but his decision making looks off. Like his reading the defense, making throws on time. These are things that these are things that you're supposed to progress, that are supposed to get better from year one. And they look worse than he did the second half of last year.
Yeah, and that's a good point, man. Him reading the defenses, that's where he needs drastic improvement in that Oh,
Now,
you're so yeah.
I will say that it took that like 4.5 years to be able to, comfortably read an NFL defense. So I understand that that's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
But you played the trash Eagles, and the Cardinals, they're okay defensively, but I mean you can get yards on them.
Right.
And he hasn't looked good, man. He hasn't looked good.
Can I say something? I am not a hater, but he ain't gonna make it.
Wow.
The problem,
right.
no. I mean, here's the reason why. His college coach was Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer quarterbacks stink in the NFL. They do.
Point.
They do. Because Urban Meyer doesn't teach you the fundamentals of football. He only cares about winning, so he'll have you run a lot. He doesn't tell you how to go through progressions. He doesn't tell you what to look for. It's all about winning for him. Alex Smith, Cordell Jones, JT Herbert. What was the dude that had the tattoos? I mean, they all, Alex, they all, and Timmy Rara, they all suck.
But just while we're on Ohio State, shout out to Garyon Conley for getting benched on Monday, but go ahead. They shouldn't have took him that early.
All right, B. So look, start with you, B. Rams at the Bills, B. Who you got?
I like the Bills.
Yeah, I picked the Bills too, man. Yeah.
They have a diverse offense under Josh Allen, and I like it. They're not predictable. He is not afraid of anybody or anything. That can still be to his detriment at times. The dude trucked the defensive end on Sunday. He went on to lose the ball at the end of the play, but he was ready to truck the defensive end, and he did it. So, I like the Bills in that one. It'll probably be a close game, but I like the Bills.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game. Who you got, K-Man?
This was my second toss-up game of the week.
Yeah,
I went back and forth
too,
on
man.
that. But I'm going with the Bills, but mainly because that defense is going to stop Golf, and they're just going to eventually keep pounding away on the Rams with that running game and Josh Allen. So I got the Rams.
And that's all.
I'm sorry, I got the Bills.
That's also my concern with the Rams is Cam Akers is hurt, so they don't have the running game to match the Bills. I don't think in this game. I think the Bills outrun them. I think they get them on the ground.
All right, K-Man. Bears at the Falcons, K-Man. Who you got?
I got the Falcons.
Dang it, K-Man.
I said they're the worst 2-0 team I've ever seen.
Yeah, you did.
And they're going to face a team that actually has an offense, soft defense, but action offense, and they can keep up.
Oh, the Falcons 2-0 or the Cowboys beat them?
No, he's talking about the Bears.
The Bears.
Oh, I got you. So but K-Man, you took the Falcons, right?
Yep.
All right, B. Who you got, B?
The Falcons.
I'm the only one picked the Bears.
Listen, they got humiliated, and I don't care how soft a team is. When you humiliate a grown man, he's gonna respond. So I expect the Falcons to show up this week. They're gonna crush the Bears.
Wow.
The Bears won't be able to keep up.
All right, B. Panthers at the Chargers. Who you got?
The Chargers.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers too, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with the Panthers, man.
It's another one of those games.
Mm-hmm.
But give me the Chargers.
The reason I picked the Chargers, man, because when I found out McCaffrey got hurt, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole Panthers team.
Man.
The old two gloves ain't going.
Two gloves. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Chargers. Let's move on to the next game. I'm not going to explain myself. You two already said it well. I don't need to add anything else.
Who's that? All right, K-Man. Jets at the Colts, K-Man.
Colts.
Yeah, I picked the Colts too, man. Dang, y'all think Phillip Rivers gonna have them in the playoff hunt?
No.
Well, y'all just
sucks.
shut everything down, don't you?
Only one team out of that division is making the playoffs, and that's the Texans. I mean, the Titans.
All right, so B, who you got, B?
The Colts.
Oh, America, this gotta be the first time when you hear me shoot a team. Who you got? Y'all got the Colts. Yeah, I got him. Oh, all right, man. All right, B. I'll start with you, man. Cowboys at the Seahawks. Who you got?
Seahawks.
America. I don't believe it.
We are bad defensively. I mean, everybody's talking about the miraculous comeback Sunday, and it was amazing. You know, I was at my mom's house. I ran through the house when it happened, when Zerline kicked the field goal. Look, I'm a fan. I get it. I love my Cowboys, but we are horrible on defense. And Russell Westbrook is making an MVP bid this year so far.
He is.
He is.
Who? Who'd you say?
I mean, Russell Wilson. I'm sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Russell. Look, I know Kenzie was going to let that one slide.
I held my tongue on the balls. I'm not having my tongue on that one. What's the show?
Sean, he just said he held his tongue on the balls. Moving on. But yeah, man, it'll be a fun game. You know, I actually think it'll be probably a high scoring game, but I expect the Seahawks. They have too many weapons offensively on the outside.
Yeah, I picked the Seahawks too. Who you got, K, man?
I got the Seahawks. They're I didn't think Jamal Adams coming to that defense was
a beast, man.
I didn't think he was going to do, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, being in a new city, playing for a real coach, having a real quarterback.
Yeah, he amped up.
Dude is he's early defensive player of the year right now.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because Pete Carroll is letting Jamal be Jamal.
Yeah,
he knows how many times he come up to the line of scrimmage.
Right, that's him. He's a pseudo linebacker. He's a fast, instinctive linebacker at safety.
Pete Carroll made his bones early on defense and secondary as a secondary coach, then a defensive coordinator, head coach. So yeah.
Good point, man.
And Russell, I know it's only 2 games. But
he looked good.
I mean, he is locked in.
He's QB1 for me so far.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, K-Man. Let you know, K-Man, I picked the Bucks, but who you got, K-Man? Bucks at the Broncos.
I got the Bucks, unfortunately.
Another one, America.
I mean, do I need to list everything?
Nah, you don't have to. You saw the injuries.
Yeah. I mean, it's terrible. And our backup is not good. So, no. We might be in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes.
Ooh, that's okay. I B, who you got?
How can you be in a Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes and you got Blake Bortles?
They just signed him, didn't they?
I'm not. It's too early. I'm not. I thought we were friends, but I guess.
Jeff Driscoll looked pretty good, didn't he?
No, he did not.
Who takes a sack?
Who takes a sack? Who takes a sack in the red zone? Who does that? Especially when you're outside the pocket. Who does that?
Who you got, B?
I got the Bucks. I understand that they quote unquote got it going against a bad team on Sunday. This game is going to be closer than a lot of people think, but I like the Bucks.
Look, hey, K-Man, I would hate to be your coach and take a sack in the red zone. Oh man! All right, B Wig, Lions at the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Webster gonna get it, ain't he?
3-0.
And look, Cliff Kingsbury.
Hey man, I give him credit. That he has the team looking better than it did a year ago. So it's still a work in progress, but I give him credit.
Who you got, K Man? You remember y'all were dogging Cliff Kingsbury. Who you got, K Man?
First of all, there's no was. It's not past tense. Sir, I'm still dogging him. I got the Cardinals winning.
Look, he did it again.
But I give him credit for week one, for what he did in week one. This Sunday and last Sunday, no. Played a team that's rebuilding, and then you're playing a team that is off. One of the things we have to look at really is what happened in Detroit and the way they fired their previous coach and the way they allow Patricia and their GM to still keep their jobs, alienating players, drafting the wrong players, overpaying for the wrong players, and not having respect in that locker room. And yet the Ford family, who runs the company, is almost, they just, care about discontinuing the fusion and bringing back the Bronco. I mean, someone pay attention to this team, please.
And K-Man, we talked about it before. I'm thinking because of the lineage back to the hood. That's what I'm thinking. They didn't make any change. They're hoping he came from that bloodline, from that coaching line. Maybe he can do the same thing with their franchise, man. That's my only reason around the whole thing.
But every coach that came from him, all his assistants, they all stink. With the exception of the Titans head coach, they all sucked.
Oh, Vrabel, yeah.
Yeah, they did Caldwell dirty. Absolutely dirty.
Yeah, they did. I give you that one. All right, K-Man. Packers at the Saints, the Monday night game, man. You know who I got. I'm going to stick with him. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Packers.
Man, they playing in a dome, K-Man.
Ain't nobody there. Nobody there.
There is no dome.
Ain't nobody there.
You said nobody there?
No.
Oh, snap. Yeah, that's a good point. I want to see, yeah. Wow. I B, who you got?
The Packers. And here's the thing, like this game may not be close because
no, it won't.
I'm not saying it won't be, but it has a good chance to not be.
Yeah, it does. And I'm a Saints fan.
It's a bad. There's a bad matchup. It's just a bad matchup. Aaron Rodgers against your secondary. It's just a horrible match.
And K-Man, if it is close, K-Man, it's going to be a shootout. The Saints receivers have to catch the ball, and Kamara got to go off. That's the only way I see it being close. Because, like B just said, our secondary is trash.
Yeah. Now, and that's the thing. Devontae's not playing, and so, but the two Aarons are still playing. So I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, but all right.
Valdez-Scantling is underrated, man.
I haven't seen enough of him, so I'm not really sure.
I've seen a lot of him.
I've heard the name, but
he was like their number 3, number 4 receiver last year. Mm-hmm. He made tons of plays, and now I think he's elevated to number 2. I think he's number 1 going into Sunday. He's a good kid, man. Good player.
All right, B. Monday night. The Monday night game. I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday night game.
I like the.
You like who?
No, I like the Ravens.
What?
I like the Ravens. The Chiefs don't. They remind me of. They're still a great team, but to me they look like they're coasting right now. Like they haven't really put the pedal to the floor yet.
All right.
And I think Baltimore is hungry. And Baltimore is looking for revenge.
I'll give you that. After K-Man make his pick, I got a question for both of you. Go ahead, K-Man.
All right, before I make my pick, I want to do something. Monday Night Football finally got a real game. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know. But they finally have a real game.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. Yeah.
And they finally have a real booth.
Yeah, yeah, true. I mean, someone at ESPN must have begged and pleaded because this game is a Sunday night game. This is not
Yeah,
a
it is.
Absolutely.
game.
Absolutely.
So they got a good game. I am going with the Ravens. Like Brandon said, they hungry.
I picked the Ravens too.
They want to eat. The Chiefs, and this is my early opinion. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if they're coasting, but I don't know if Andy Reid he no longer has that monkey on his back.
He doesn't.
I don't know if he is pressing like I really got to win championship like that, you know.
This might be a tough question, man. So we know the Ravens have weapons on offense. The Ravens defense is pretty good. The Chiefs have weapons on offense. The Chiefs defense is okay. Who has the best offense and who has the best defense in your guys in your opinion?
I give the best offense to the Chiefs simply because they're so well rounded. They can beat you any way and every way. They can smash mouth you, or they can go over the top. They can hurt you in the intermediate game with Kelsey. They're so well rounded. I mean, they have the better offense, but the Ravens have the better defense.
All right, Kate, man, what you got?
You know, they got better when Earl Thomas left. Who knew?
Yeah, I got the same thing. Lamar is just getting better and better as a passer. They don't have quite the wide receivers that the Chiefs does. They got a tight end. Is not that far off. Running game helps them. The line, but Hilaire. So I would give, and then also you got Andy Reid calling play. So I give and also Bieniemy. So I got the Chiefs as a better offense. It's not even close. The Ravens got a better defense.
All right, B. So
DP's got them dudes hungry.
Yeah.
All right, B. So I'm gonna do this. Then we're gonna do the parting shots. B. Wig, give me a score for this game.
Oh, the Chiefs Ravens game?
Yeah.
I'll take the Ravens 34-28.
Wow. What about you, K man?
I got the Ravens 27, Chiefs 21.
So hold on, say it again. You got what, 27-21?
Yep.
Just want to add that to the spreadsheet because this, you guys got it right, man. This should have been a Sunday night game, but this is going to be a good Monday night game.
Yep.
Oh, man. All right, man. Let's do the parting shots. Who want to go first?
I'll go ahead and go because I don't have much. I just want to say it's a somber day today. It's unfortunate about the Breonna Taylor situation.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I can't say that I expected anything more. It's wrong. It's sad that this is still a problem and that it's still happening. But I wasn't surprised. Just the entire landscape of this country it's a train wreck. It's a train wreck. So, my parting shot, stay close to the ones you love, kiss the ones you care about, and hunker down because there's some interesting stuff about to pop off. There's some interesting stuff about to pop off. A lot of things are already happening. So, whatever you believe in, whatever you pray to it. And
right.
And hopefully we'll see the other side of this thing in one piece, man.
Yeah, good point, man. Good point. What you got, K, man?
Normally I would say something funny. But Brandon touched on it. I knew nothing was going to happen to the police officers who murdered Breonna Taylor. And it's sad, everybody talked about, George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery, and you saw justice move a little bit quicker. And the things that happen to this country for Black men is rough, but the things that happen to Black women in this country is way worse. It's absolutely sad. The Attorney General during this time period wanted to come to DC for the Republican National Convention. He wanted to get engaged to his girlfriend, but he didn't want to charge those individuals. You saw what happened in the Jacob Blake, how quickly Wisconsin moved. You saw how quickly Minnesota moved, but he was just moving at a snail's pace. The $12 million settlement is dipped in blood, and you saw what happened. I mean, Sandra Bland happened 5 years ago, and still nothing.
Yep.
I couldn't pull it up. I couldn't find it, but that Malcolm X quote about the most disrespected person in America is a Black woman. He said that 60 some odd years ago, and it's still the truth. And, I just, I pray for her soul and her family. And I pray for the people down in Louisville and across the country. And I'm a negative person by heart. I'm just joking. But no,
you are. You are.
I really am. But I'm hopeful that things will get better. I have to be. That's my parting shot.
My only parting shot, man. You guys have said it well enough. My only thing is, and it's what they call a technicality, a loophole, which I think is a loophole. The reason the officers didn't get charged was because her boyfriend didn't know who was coming in the apartment, had a right to his weapon. He fired it, didn't know who it was in self-defense. But the officers that caught his fire, they fired back. And that's why the guy, the attorney for Kentucky, said it was justified, because he fired at them first. But like I said, to me, it's a technicality. That law, there has to be something done with that law.
Yep.
And no knock warrants.
Exactly. And didn't I tell you guys that we were texting about it a while ago, and I said that the police are going to say it's justified because of this.
Yeah.
And I said, and the law, and it's written that way, which is like, it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because you can look at it from the cop's perspective. They didn't know who was firing, and they didn't want to get shot, so they fired back.
Right.
And the guy, her boyfriend, could argue the same thing. I didn't know who was coming in my place. Mm-hmm. My weapon is legal. It's in my name.
Mm-hmm.
But my only argument is with, they didn't focus on it. They focused on the bullets went into somebody else's apartment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
walls of a house, the walls of a house got, more justice than a Black woman.
I'm gonna tell you my last parting shot, man, is we need to pray for the players this week, and pray that the medical staff, whether it's physical therapy, training, hopefully, prayerfully, that the training kicks in and they had enough of it. They can somehow get into a groove. This is week 3. But to you guys' point earlier in the podcast, man, I think the damage is already done. Like you say, B, we're already in it now.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't have another Sunday like we had last Sunday. because if we do I guess the bright side to it, y'all, is if we have another Sunday like that, a lot of the practice players are going to get called up, so they have to go and get other practice players, which gives other people chances to make a living, make more money.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my only silver lining.
That's
I never like. I don't like the next man up motto because I know what it means. But I mean, and they expanded practice squad from 10 to 16 players this season. So and
the only reason I say that, man, because like B, your son, if your son makes it and he be out there, he's balling, but he's on a practice squad. Right. Star player Dallas get hurt. Hey, we got to call Braden Wiggins up. Hey, Braden, we already know we're paying you $350,000 on the practice squad, but we're going to redo your contract. We're going to give you $850,000 for the rest of the season.
Right.
Yeah. And like you said, K-Man, no one likes that term "next man up" because somebody. It all depends on the situation. Somebody possibly been hurt or but
everybody's expendable.
Yeah, but I don't. They just say it so callously. Next man up, like the person who went down was a nobody, or he don't have a family, or it's. Just, I don't like that. Yeah.
Well, then, we're
moving on. It's like we're moving on.
K-Man, we got to say that for next week because you just went deep with that one, K-Man. you said like you don't have a family. Whoa, okay. Ooh, boy. That's kind of what. We got to say. I'm gonna write that one down for next week. That's gonna be the first topic. The next man up rule, or should we call it a rule, or what would you call it, K-Man?
A callous statement.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And you see, I just made an argument. How can it be callous if someone behind that person is getting paid, K-Man? But we're going to save for next week.
Somebody got to lose.
and look, B, you said K-Man negative. Look at you.
Negative sees negative. Come on.
but what? Hold up. Negative and negative. Don't that make positive?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, you.
All right, man. I'm gonna send y'all the spreadsheet, man.
All right,
man. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Good night.
Catch y'all next week.
All right, man.